This is Dale the Demon Torborg.
My name is Bryce Rensburg. I'm the Chikara Senior Official. This is April Hunter from AprilHunter.com.
I'm Bobby Shares, the three-time world champion, Showtime expert analyst.
This is Coolio with the flow, a.k.a. the Ghetto Gourmet.
There you go.
This is Dan the B7, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC history.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry the King Lawler. That's right. WWE Hall of Famer.
This is Jeff Damon from Deadliest Wear on Spike TV. You have tuned in and are now live listening to the three-time NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Scrapper and Anna Pierce. And just like you, I am also locked in. And, brother, we are beyond ringside.
All right. Macro, playing.
Welcome to the original Rockin' Wrestling Radio Show. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, your source for wrestling, MMA, and boxing in the Southeast. To contact the Ringside Roundtable of Beyond Ringside, email them at beyondringside@gmail.com. And now, your host for Beyond Ringside, the man, no myth, all legend, Fast Eddie Layne.
I want to say greetings, good evening, how you doing? Live from multiple location station, weather kind of easing up. Running a little bit late today, courtesy of Mother Nature. She's PMSing like a bitch all over again. That's why we had a power outage, and I just broke my headset. There you go. Fast Eddie Layne, live from Studio One. Like to welcome in tag team partner Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, MaBo?
A gay guy, a black guy, and a Jewish guy walk into a bar, and they all have a nice drink. Quit being a racist.
Like to welcome in tag team partner, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for global warfare. Not war games, global warfare. This Saturday, Pell City, Alabama, Pell City Civic Center. But I want to give a special shout out to all of those using Tupac as their Facebook profile pic and trying to act thug. And we all know you're not a thug and you're kin to Juan Valdez. Give me some coffee, bitch.
Too many people using too many gimmicks and not even able to come up with their own crap. That's the funny part of
it. It astounds me. People that are quote-unquote workers, when we all know they're just wrestlers, claiming to be workers. I'm looking at you, Kevin Kaufman, in the Young Lions. But, these people, you can go on their Facebook, and there's not a shred of evidence that they are wrestlers or workers or managers or anything. Like, literally, they have Tupac up as their profile pics. They want to drop the N-bomb every 2 minutes, and then whenever they try to insult you, they try to go after the fans. They won't even go after you. This business, professional wrestling, this is why we cannot keep good things.
That's why we can't have nice things in this house.
Well, luckily we have Samoa Joe, though. So,
amen. You know, it has been a hell of a week all the way across the board, and I'm just going to go ahead and launch into this. The fun part of the week for me was the fact that they played the card about putting the primetime players back into a prime slot by letting them be the last team standing after everything broke down on Raw. The match of the week in my world, I'm going to go ahead and break this one out. If you have not seen
I'm just laughing because I know exactly where you're about to go with this.
Where do you think I'm going to go?
I'm going to have to say Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
No. Although that was a damn good match, it is actually my number 2. My number 1, Kyle O'Reilly, Jay Lethal from Ring of Honor TV this week. They abso-freaking-lutely tore it up. Now look, Zayn, Owens, damn good match. And if it had not been for the Lethal O'Reilly match, no, it would have been number 1. But what Kyle O'Reilly and Jay Lethal put into that television title match, I'm sorry, they did a great job of utilizing every facet, whether it be going to the air, staying on the ground, traditional, newfangled horse nuts, take your pick. They did it. They did everything they could do, and they did it well. So that's why that match for me is going to be the high moment of the week. Now, speaking of highlights and lowlights, now, obviously, you did have a chance to watch the NXT Unstoppable. Stole my word. Yeah, I know, and I intentionally did that. Wick, Angie, your thoughts on the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn match from NXT?
Look, I don't like Kevin Steen. Never liked Kevin Steen, but for them to allow him to be Kevin Steen with another name in NXT is tremendous. Sami Zayn, El Generico, whatever. I'd never even heard about the guy until about 5 years ago, and whenever MaBo smartened me up to him, he's amazing. If you have a bad match with Sami Zayn, you might want to think about another career. You might want to become a mechanic or lick Paulie's nuts. I don't know, whatever they do. But Sami Zayn is going to be, I don't want to say a world champion. I think Kevin Owens will end up being a world champion before his run's done. I don't think Sami Zayn will, but I think that the Intercontinental title will be within his grasp very soon. And at least we not forget Kevin Owens and John Cena from Monday night. This was Kevin Owens' weekend. This was his entire week, in fact.
Yeah.
I mean, he did one of the greatest things I've ever seen on Monday night. I love that back and forth. I love the fact him acknowledging that he was in the business 15 years and that John Cena couldn't tell him anything. And then to just to do the heel and just nut shot. That's fantastic. What a fucking whoops.
But
what a toe kick.
But the point came when he took his boot and put it into the title. And what did you say at that point?
I said I think that was a little far.
You did.
I said I think that was a little far.
I was surprised at your reaction, to be honest with you.
To be honest with you. Now,
That's
I don't know
my
about
Pandora impression, by the way.
I don't know about you guys, but the stomping on the belt was a little much. Just a little much. I want to get you guys' opinion on it.
That's
everything up until then was awesome.
Yeah.
But, of course, you know that he was told he could do that beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But to hold up the NXT Heavyweight Championship and to stomp on a quote-unquote Big Show title.
They really gave him a lot.
Yes, they did. And that was amazing.
His...
But you have to, once again, we talked about this with Brian Zane, and we've talked about it on the show. You and I have spoken about it.
Yes.
Triple H.
Yes.
Say what you want to about the man. When it comes to NXT, that's his baby. And he has totally went into this, signing Samoa Joe, letting Samoa Joe keep Samoa Joe. They can even keep his T-shirts in stock already.
Well, look at the wrestling world. Look at who everyone's talking about.
Samoa Joe in NXT.
So there you go.
It is amazing. It is a great time to be an independent wrestler, independent manager, because you're getting to see the best show. And I'm sorry to anybody that this finds this disrespectful. NXT right now is the best wrestling going.
Agreed.
1 of 3. MaBo, come on board. Favorite match of the week from this moment and everything Wick was just bringing up.
I think I'm going to give credit to the women of NXT, both Sasha Banks taking on Becky Lynch. I think they had a ridiculously tremendous match at TakeOver Unstoppable. As well as Charlotte and Bayley teaming up against Emma and Dana Brooke. You know, first of all, get to see a little bit more serious side to Emma. You know, instead of popping the bubbles and everything. And I'm telling you, they could, with the exception of Paige and Natty, they could clear the Divas roster and bring all those ladies up.
Yes.
And you would see a women's wrestling renaissance, much like when the Knockouts really started going in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
You painted that picture so well.
What was that?
You painted that picture so well. I absolutely agree with you.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. It's just they've got so many talented young ladies down there, and it's the fact that they are, and it's also that keyword, young ladies, but they're young, experienced ladies. Bayley did time on the indies before she was, signed a contract. Becky Lynch did time before she signed.
Yep.
Sasha did time. All these ladies, they've got so, and of course, even the ones who might not have that much experience, they are getting the best training possible from Sarah Del Rey, who, to me, I would say one of the modern day, I would put her in the top 5 modern day women's wrestlers. I mean, I think at one point PWI actually named her the #1 female wrestler for 1 year. I mean, she's amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, that was definitely the highlight. I mean, I didn't really watch Raw. I think, other than the Kevin Owens, John Cena stuff, I didn't even bother watching Raw at all because I was watching Raw Alternative 2, which, every Well, there was an exception of one or two, but the majority of the matches put on from Raw Alternative 2, those were great matches. Of course, were any of them live? No. They were, culled from different, shows and events.
Especially
Chikara.
And Smash.
Yeah, Smash. A lot of them had great matches, but it's just I would much rather watch that. But it's like Wicked said. I mean, there's nobody that can argue that NXT is probably the best thing going for pro wrestling right now.
I give it a 3-way tie. I'm cutting in for 1 second. I'm genuinely going to give it a 3-way tie and I feel bad for the fact that we're probably going to end up losing Impact before it's. That's just really irking me. Because I think we covered this previously in the week when the acknowledged number 2 is about to go bye-bye the hard way. And in this case, bad business kills all over again. And there are people
than the Conway.
Huh?
I said it's better. So it's better than the Conway.
Do-doom-doom-ch.
Well, look, he just did the NWA. Just look at me. How I run this promotion into the ground after 150 years. See.
Now,
I knew you were gonna laugh, and he's trying not to laugh. MaBo's like, "Holy crap! I left my guinea pigs for this."
You get a South Park moment of the week, but nice one. From there, I'm going to sit back and say this: Lucha Underground from the start. Look. The Lucha style and what they're doing on Lucha Underground may not be your cup of tea, and I understand that and I respect that. But by the same token, I'm going to sit back and say this. I keep a lot of things in check when I watch Lucha Underground because it's a different style than the WWE style as far as the production value goes. I really like it. I really, a bucket list item for me has been added, and that's going to the temple. Believe that. And, oh God, did I just say believe that? Oh, shoot me. Oh my God.
I was waiting for you to snap, too.
Say what?
I was waiting for you to snap, too.
Oh.
Believe that.
A, B, C, D, E, F that.
So, Eddie, so what you're saying is that the number one promotion going right now is an NXT, that it could be Lucha Underground.
Or Ring of Honor, if they had a better distribution deal.
Now, Ring of Honor now, we've said this for the last few years, all three of us. Angie has been included the last 2 years of this show. We all know this. The breeding ground for WWE is Ring of Honor.
Yep.
I consider Ring of Honor the number 2 promotion in the United States. No offense to TNA. TNA, I know a lot of guys on that roster. I know a lot of the guys on Ring of Honor roster. Ring of Honor is getting you ready for the big time.
Yes.
Vince has to have a hand in this. If he doesn't, man, I'm telling you, you look at what right now, who's in NXT, there's a plethora of those guys that have been in Ring of Honor beforehand. You look at some of the people that are on the WWE roster, Ring of Honor, TNA as well. But TNA seems that, I hope they're not being canceled, but it appears that it is true.
Which really sucks.
It truly sucks because we've all wanted TNA
They've
to
been on the brink
escape
for so long.
Yes, I predicted that in the winter of 2014 they were going to go and they were going to be canceled. And they got canceled and went somewhere else.
And many more predicted earlier than that.
But I predicted that 2010. They can all kiss my ass because both of these two guys can vouch for that.
Yep.
Yeah, but they've been on the brink for so long.
But Eddie, you and Jim Ross are very arduous fans of Lucha Underground. I mean, both you guys talk so much about it. What do you think about it is that doesn't grab everyone's attention?
Not everybody gets El Rey. That's going to be the major thing.
That's true, but
that's the major thing about it right now is distribution, because it's not on certain cable outlets, it's not on certain satellite outlets, and people are struggling to find it. And same thing with TNA and Destination America. Look, for as much as I respect and appreciate the fact that TNA managed to get Destination America to stay on a semi-national format, not enough people get Destination America. I think more people get the network than they get that Destination America. And there's been so much going on as far as the overall landscape. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly, and I said this from the get-go when Sinclair Broadcast Group picked up Ring of Honor. I knew somewhere down the road, somebody named McMahon had to have a finger on a button somewhere. And it's just becoming that much more obvious. Because, now, here's another trick. I want everybody to keep this into consideration. Not just the factor of how many people that have worked under the banner of ROH in recent days, with the exception of Samoa Joe, who's made a couple of appearances with them, have been picked up by NXT and WWE. You can say it's NXT, it's still under the WWE banner. Thank you, Triple H. We know that Ring of Honor has been really good about bringing in stars from different promotions around the country, especially the Northeast. They have been really good about being a proving ground or testing ground for a number of people in pro wrestling. Because everybody, all four of us, everybody on this banner, so to speak, the BR banner, understands and respects what Ring of Honor tries to do and what they have successfully done for a few years. So I'm looking at, it's like, let's put the world in proper perspective. How many people have gone directly from TNA up to WWE? Not that many in the last couple of years, unless they were WWE to begin with. Lucha Underground is being looked at more so as a flavor of the month by a lot of people, and they're wondering what the longevity of the product is. As long as they have a good working relationship with AAA, they're going to have a good trade out on talent. And then now that they brought in Sean Daivari, they've been using Johnny Morrison, Johnny Mundo. They brought in Hernandez. They've got Chavo Guerrero now as their co-executive producer. They're going to continue to build momentum, and people are taking them seriously. So you've got a lot of things going on. And like I said, I'm looking at a national or semi-national format, television, broadcast, or cable. I'm not looking at internet, because we all know that there is a difference between commercial or cable TV and posting a product on your website, on YouTube, on Dailymotion, on VO, on Blip. There is a difference. And I'm just going to go ahead and before I get called a hypocrite, which I know that there are people salivating right now waiting, hold up, Eddie, what about? Look, before I go any further, everybody knows that my home company is Global Championship Wrestling based out of Birmingham, Alabama. Those who know me and know me more than 10 minutes. I have said this for a while. I do believe that what we're doing with the ITV product through our .com and through YouTube is a good thing. It's getting us back out in the public forum. We have been on traditional television before, not a national format, localized. We have aspirations of getting back on television again. We're not content by any stretch of the imagination to be on YouTube or Blip or .com. I can speak for the entire company when I say that. There will be a return to traditional television for Global Championship Wrestling. But we're using YouTube and the other various places that we're putting it. But YouTube is getting it first, so we pipe it into our .com. By our, I mean GCW. From there, yes, and I'm going to draw heat for this. I'm going to draw huge heat for this. And frankly, I've said it in public, I've said it in private, and I'll say it here one more time. Look, in the time that we've done things in the last, let's look at the last 5 years. Situations in play. Yeah, I'm going there. I really think we should have been doing pay-per-views. I think we should have been doing DVD tapings. I think that we should have been looking at video on demand. But that's just me. The front office of the company understands and respects where my perspective is on this. But due to extenuating circumstances, we haven't moved in that direction. I have seen other companies move in that direction. I give credit where credit is due. Some companies have done a good job doing that. Others, not so much.
I think a lot of people are hesitant about the internet pay-per-views by the difficulties that Ring of Honor had with internet pay-per-view. They were on Go Fight Live. Still have, what was it? MaBo, how many pay-per-views was it in a row that Ring of Honor messed up? 3? Or 4 out of 5?
Look at all the problems the WWE had.
Yeah, when they were doing the internet pay-per-view and it kept dropping.
Yeah,
or the signal wouldn't go through. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like when you can be like, yeah, it's a handful. That's way too many. 1, I can understand. 2, no. 3, that's beyond me. But I really think it was 4 out of their 5 pay-per-views had internet problems, and 3 of them didn't even air, and they were having to give money back. I mean, you can't have that. But that's internet pay-per-view. DVD sales are something else.
Yes.
I know Peach State has went the way of DVD sales.
Yes.
But they're the only ones around here that are doing that. Southern Fried doesn't do it. GCW doesn't do it. Pro South doesn't do it. Pro South has the best of Ace Haven. I can walk up to Ace Haven and be like, hey, give me your DVD. He's like, throw his hands up. But the Peach State is the only ones around here doing the DVD. DVDs are just...
no. LXW and IWA Deep South were doing it, too, when they were running full steam.
Oh, God. See, there's one of the... But, yeah. So
but, I mean, they that was something that they could do because they had a fan base that would travel around with them.
Yes.
Especially Carnage Cup doing once a year. That was whenever I know for a fact they sold the hell out of some DVDs. Because I've seen so many people with DVDs from Carnage Cup.
There's a huge market for it.
Oh, yeah, there is. I think DVDs would definitely sell, especially for GCW. Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
I see it on my Facebook feed.
Oh, God. But, like, the best of Circle of Disrespect, the best of the 5-Star Fight Club, the best of the Sevenfold Saints, the best of the Unlucky Charms, the best of the Wicked Nemesis, the best of MaBo crossing his arms saying, make me laugh, fat man.
Yes. I would so buy that one.
See, if I wasn't so blind without my glasses, I would like pinpoint MaBo, and you can always tell how good a show is by MaBo's reaction.
Yes.
SmackDown wasn't that good.
No.
And you didn't have to. All you had to do is just sit there and watch MaBo on the Titantron for 3 hours and 15 minutes with his arms crossed, and it was like, okay,
he moved once during the women's match.
MaBo's like, ooh, I got to see this.
Tell you what, we're 28 before the top of the hour. We've been a little bit topsy-turvy on the timeline, so I'm going to go ahead and say this. Before we go to the break real quick, MaBo, I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to you full scale. You get the last word on this segment for everything we've been talking about.
Yeah.
I hate it when you do that.
Me too.
Well, I mean, you guys have said everything. What are you saying?
You can always either add to, you can contradict, you can change the perspective. You're good at doing that.
I love a good MaBoism.
That's my adding to right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good MaBoism.
That is one right there. Yeah.
And on that note, we're going to break off. We'll be back. Hang with us. Beyond Ringside Live continues right after this.
This is Dr. Tom Pritchard, and if you want to listen to the best in professional wrestling, get locked in to Beyond Ringside.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Universal Soldier Phil Shatter, also TNA Gunner. 2 years in the making as NWA National Heavyweight Champion, making my way to the top as #1 in the world. And you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Runner, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here, live, every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
This is Bambi Weeble with Masters of Ring Entertainment, and you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Do you like beer? Do you like business? Do you like businesses that make beer, then you'll love this new show. It's the Beer Trail Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Price, and we're going to travel through the world of craft beer and talk to the breweries and see how they got started and what inspired them to make their beer. So check it out at thebeertrailpodcast.com and tell your friends, and hope to see you on the trail.
Oh, yes! This is Paul Bearer, and some people call me Percy Pringle III. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is Ace Haven from Pro South Wrestling, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is Dan the B7, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC history, and you're listening to Beyond Ringside. You better pay attention, otherwise I know where you live.
Set and ready to roll 21 minutes before the top of the hour. Welcome back into Beyond Ringside Live. We are going to be taking it till 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Going to be going 8 p.m. with Wrestle Rage Radio with Smart Rage and Stan. Fast Eddie Layne live from Studio 1 from Bohemian Grove, the Wicked Nemesis, and Angie Travis.
You know what really grinds my gears?
A lot of things.
Somebody who doesn't know how to work the clutch.
Yes, I don't know how to drive a 5-speed. That's what really grinds my gears.
Welcome back, Mark MaBo Bowman.
Sorry. I got a mustache hair.
Are you okay?
That's his impression of Alf.
Yes.
Oh my God! Sorry, mustache hair got loose and it went down my windpipe.
Do me a favor, say, "Ha! I kill me."
Oh, right, kill me.
That's pretty good, Alf.
Yes.
There you go. Not bad.
Yes.
You know, actually, the easy way to sound like Alf, and I'm going to get so much barbecue for this later. I don't mean in a good way. Do a Ted Guinness impression.
Oh.
No, I'm serious. I listened to Mad Dog when he does a Ted Guinness impression back when C&E was live, and lo and behold, I'm sitting back going, is he trying to sound like Chef Ted, or is he trying to sound like Alf?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Well, what does being sweaty have to do with an impersonation of Alf?
Vocally, MaBo. Vocal impression.
Oh, well, you said Ted Guinness. I figured.
No, stop there. Stop, smell friend.
Stop, smell friend.
I've decided to break that one out today.
That guy is constantly moist.
Dad, gone, I see ya. Now, we were having a slight discussion off air. Oh, and before I do this, let me go ahead and there's something I want to carry over from the previous segment. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this out. Because a longtime friend of mine, and of all of us on this show, made a comment that I remember seeing when I was making reference to another company with which I work that has gone into the venue of DVDs and iPay-per-views and stuff of that ilk. And yet another company for which I work hasn't. And they put up the score blank 3 blank 0. And I'm sitting back going, you're absolutely right. I can't debate that. I won't debate that. I can't dispute it. I won't dispute it. And I will say it exactly like this. You were unequivocally, completely and totally 100% right. And you made a ton of sense. I'll leave it at that. And now, the rest of the story.
Tweet from Eddie live on air.
Say what?
I'm so confused right now.
I said, was that a sub-tweet live on air?
Yeah, from about a year and a half ago. But no, it was. He said it perfectly, and I just never really, I finally had it in my brain to say it, and I wanted to say it where everybody could hear it. I have no qualm admitting when someone's dead solid right. Bingo.
Well, speaking of dead solid right, MaBo, you made a very good point about the streamers that indie shows throw, especially at GCW. And your point is, sir, because you put this out on Facebook, so the world saw it, and I know the person it was directed at definitely saw it. So
yeah, because I didn't know who started that, and the person who was directed to it actually made the comment of said something. We've been doing that since January. for anybody who's watched pro wrestling, from Japan, because that's really where it started. The last time I saw was if you don't know about I don't know what it's officially called. I just call it the Japanese streamer treatment, which is not to be confused with many other streams in Japanese. But we've all seen it. It happened. You see it a lot in Ring of Honor. But said person or persons come down to the ring. They're announced down. They come down. They either the corner or they strike their signature pose in the middle. You take the wonderful streamers that you could buy anywhere. I buy mine preferably, at Party City. You hold the one end and you just toss and like you're rolling the toilet paper, and it goes. Once that person's name is said, and they strike their pose. Why? Because it looks good on television or video, or even if you take pictures. That's what makes it look good, because you have this, this raining down of this colorful streams while they're in their signature pose. You don't want to do it. If they're coming up the steps, you don't want to throw it. You don't want to. Don't want to do it after the match or the middle of the match or whatever. It's not. It's not rocket surgery. You don't wait and you throw it. And I mean, I don't know if the person who claims they brought this to GCW understands the concept, but it's not that difficult. I mean, it's simple, toss and go. And then you don't want to sit there and give it to anyone under the age of 10, because they'll sit there and they'll hold on to it through the whole match until they feel like they want to, get back at the bad guy, and they just take a whole chunk of streamer and just whip it at the heel's head. And that's just not good either. So, I mean, go back, watch your Japanese tapes, watch some Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Watch, CZW, they've done it. Watch them, watch what they do. Now coming down to the ring, blah, 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 hit your pose, shit, there you go. It's not that hard to figure out. If you do it, it's not like you're looking for a window for a space shuttle launch. Okay? There's no, they just go, bam, it's perfect right there.
Yeah, you definitely want to wait till the person is in the ring and announced. Now, if it's a formal ring introduction by the ring announcer, don't do it during that part, but do it if okay. You'll notice that there are times when, if it's going to be a championship match or something of that ilk, well, there's nothing else of that ilk. It's called a championship match. Leave it alone. They will go ahead. Most of the streamers will fly when the person enters the ring, strike a pose or acknowledgement. Let's go ahead and do it then, because if you do it, because the referees have got to clean all that crap up, security and ring crew, and they'll turn around and try to sell it back during the intermission. That was funny. I saw that in Ring of Honor. Tell you in a minute. Because if you do it during the introduction, it's just kind of like it almost takes away from the professionalism and the purity of the formal ring introduction. Agree or disagree, MaBo?
Well, I mean, there's definitely, an agreement. It's just, like I said, the person comes in, you want to make sure that the key time to hit it is, and it's you see it 9 times out of 10, sometimes 10 times out of 10. The ring announcer does the full introduction. The guy might be standing in the corner. I've seen it happen with CM Punk. It was a Ring of Honor. I forgot what match it was. But CM Punk, he was in the ring, in the corner, doing his little CM Punk bounce while he wiggles his wrist. The ring announcer announced him. Punk made his way to the center of the ring, hit his signature pose. People launched the streamers, and it looked really awesome.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just like a handful. It wasn't, and that's the other thing. For crying in your soup, don't just be the one lone schmuck throwing just one lone roll. Unless you're Jamie Madrox, the multiple man, don't think that your one lone streamer is going to look fabulous. And you know, if you're going to do it, make sure you have friends. Obviously, the person who we're talking about probably doesn't. But, for example, Eddie, were you there when we gave Kyle Bakula his Japanese streamer treatment?
Yes, I was.
Okay, but I mean, do you remember what we did? I mean, even though it was just Tunzi and I, we bought multiple rolls, and what we did was we passed them around.
Right.
And by the way, Kyle Bakula loved it. He still talks about it to this day. But, you know, that's what we did was like, okay, I was like, well, you know, Tunzi and I just throwing them from the, you know, left corner of the ring. It's going to look pathetic. You know, hey, you know, do you guys want to help us out? And we actually had some people who were sitting with us. They went to the other side of the ring and threw it. So that way it all cascaded in and crisscrossed, and it looked awesome. Make it jump. So that's the other key point. Don't think you throwing one roll of streamer is going to look awesome. I mean, you can even sit there and try to throw two at once. Don't do that, by the way. It never works out.
No, it never does.
No, it never does. So, you know, just use some common sense.
Well, there's a trick to the whole scenario, and the streamer treatment was brought out originally as a show of respect and appreciation, and it's just like an additional, because fans can't let pyro loose at a show. I don't care who you are, it ain't gonna happen.
Maybe you can't.
I know you try. Let you go eat.
I know a couple of good old boys on the side of the road in Pell City that can help me out.
Especially if you hit Taco Bell beforehand and hold a lighter to your butt. Right.
Oh, not even Taco Bell. Not these days.
But now, the way I've always interpreted it, I've never gotten an official explanation, but the way that I've always looked at it, it's like it's the fans' way of adding another dimension to a person's entrance, because of the factor that it does take effort for you to go buy the streamers and then take them with you, get them in the door, and then throw them especially. That's a physical effort. So, from that vantage point, yeah, there's a way. It's like, if you throw it before the other person's music hits, you might not be paying attention. If the person is, I'm just going to leave it at that. You said it perfectly. Let them get into the ring and then let it rip, especially if they're hitting a signature pose or going to the corner. Or if it's a tag team, let them both get in the ring and let them get the acknowledgement. Speaking of, and I've just got to go and lay this one out there from this past Wednesday night, Lucha Underground, the Trios Championship was back on the line this week, and I was thoroughly, the way that they have been doing the storyline basis for the Trios Championship, especially with Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Helical, they've done it right. They've done a beautiful thing on that. They've carried that nicely, and it's fun to watch. And you're hearing me go in this direction because there was a post made, and a lot of us have been on this sentiment for a while. There is so much, and I'm going to take about 2 minutes on this. There is so much effing negativity from the chairs, from the locker room, and from the ring in a lot of facets of pro wrestling nowadays. We've let ourselves get to a point, and you know that you've listened from the start on this show, today especially. We haven't gone into business as far as saying what's negative or what's really wrong. We've offered constructive criticism. We've offered points of reference, but we haven't just gone out and torn somebody down because of something, no matter what show it is. Now, there are people that with whom there are situations and we will take shots. I ain't got no issue with that. By the way, Wick, did you bother to go ahead and get your personalized Paulie happy birthday wish done?
Negative.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. That's the way I was going to say it Wednesday, but I effed it up, okay? But, and I know right now, Wick is ready to go on a 15-minute cavalcade of adjectives as it pertains to that individual. But Wick knew that I was having fun with this, so that's why he's not going off like an A-bomb. He'll say that he'll go off like an A-hole 7 days a week, but he's not going to go off like an A-bomb. But the thing about it is, And I'm not going to try to be a beacon of virtue as far as saying everything positive. Screw that. But by the same token, I am going to look at things, and I would rather build up what I love and respect more than tear down what I can't stand. Because I think that there are positives in almost every circumstance, unless it's a Bella Twins match. And yes, I just did that. Plain and simple. There's a lot more than I could actually say right now, but I'm going to hold off on that concept, and I'm going to turn it to my tag team partners. Anything that you'd like to add to or contradict what I just said a second ago? And MaBo, I'll toss to you first.
No.
There's another MaBoism for you. Wick.
I think that I rant and rave enough on my show. I'm not going to bog the show down with my ranting and raving. But as we all know, there are certain people that don't know how to do business, and it's that's the name of the game. That's what they do. They'd rather book $10 wrestlers and keep some money in their pocket instead of making more money in the long run.
Angie, anything you'd like to add?
No, I think everyone's about covered it.
Yeah, almost opened up the literal. Ever since I met her, I can't say the phrase anymore. I'm having a hard time because I know it comes out wrong when I say it. I'm not going to say it. I almost opened up Pandora's box when I was talking about that a second ago. And it had nothing to do with her, by the way. Nothing. Not a damn thing. Yeah, it's a phrase that I can't use anymore thanks to me knowing this person. Damn it.
Somebody found their car keys in there one time.
That was bad. That was just bad. Now, Wick, you brought up a good one that I'm going to run with for a second. Because we've all either been to or worked on shows where there have been individuals brought in, and we won't mention names.
Why not? Well, then why the hell am I even on this show?
Okay, fine. You can mention names. I choose not to.
Okay.
We have either been to or worked on shows, or both, where there's been someone on the card that you just sit back and go, why? Not how. Just why? And then they get in the ring and your fears are confirmed. And they get out of the ring and they don't even bother to ask anybody, especially not the vets of the locker room, what did you think of the match? What is one thing that goes through your mind when you see an individual such as that? I'll look at it from the chair's perspective first. MaBo, your thoughts?
When I look at somebody and go, why are they in the ring? Why are you doing this?
Yes, keep going.
Oh. What am I thinking?
Yes.
One of the many things that I'm thinking that I could say with the restrictions of held down ass. Well, one of the first things I'm usually thinking is, okay, first it's, well, guess this will be brought up on Beyond Ringside tomorrow. And then it's, I wonder what Wicked, Eddie, Tunzi, anybody really that I could think of. I was like, I wonder if what they're doing right now. Are they in the middle of a show or anything? Because I need to text them this. And then I'm thinking, and then, the sort of the nice guy kind of comes back out, and he's just like, well, give him a chance. Oh, crap. Well, that's the last time we let that guy make any decisions about giving people chances. And then when they, walk to the back like they just pulled off a Savage Steamboat WrestleMania 3 match, I look at them and I'm just like, you suck. And not just suck, but you should find a large, erect, flat structure full of phalluses, and you should place your mouth on every one of those because you suck a wall of penises.
Wicked Nemesis, what do you do?
Are we talking about people that shouldn't be in the ring? Because
Yes.
Sorry, the dogs were going crazy. We got the dog pound over here, Snoop Dogg.
If it's obvious they have no business being in the ring to begin with, but yet lo and behold, I'll use MaBo's line.
Eddie, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Locker room with me. What do I do to people that shouldn't be in the ring? Honestly, I want you to tell the world. What do I do when I see somebody that shouldn't be in the ring get in the ring? What do I do after their match?
He normally gives them a swirly, kids.
That's bullcrap. I go to them and tell them, kid, whatever you do during your day job, you need to stick to that because you suck at what you do. Not only that, most of the time their lockups are weak. They move when they shouldn't and then don't move when they should. A lot of times they have no comeback as a babyface. There's no fire in there. I don't believe that they're able to sell. Selling is a lost art in professional wrestling these days. And then I usually tell them how much that they paid for that gear, it's crap. You might want to talk to Rick Michaels or you might want to talk to Micah Taylor. They're going to be expensive, but you need some gear. And then I tell them that one day somebody's going to have to come to them and that person's me. And it's bad that a wrestling manager has to come to somebody and tell them, you suck. But a lot of times I ask, who trained you? And if that person happens to be there, which they have been there, I have went to them and said, why are you training this person? You don't put enough asses in the seats. Your psychology is crap as it is. So now what you're doing is you're passing on your bad habits to this person who, if you're part of Hard Times Wrestling, most of the time you're going to turn around and be their champion. And then after you're a heavyweight champion and you weigh $105, there comes a point in time to where you're just passing on bad habits to everybody.
And also,
you're going to end up on trash bag and you're going to get butt hurt. And then Angie and I are going to call you out on your stuff. And then you're going to have people come after you. Like, let's take Paul Lee, for instance.
Oh, God.
Terrible guy. Terrible, horrible, no good person. Pulled his son and Kevin Kaufman off 2 shows that they were supposed to work at Peach State against the Sevenfold Saints. Why? Because they were going to drop the title to the Sevenfold Saints. And then when they wanted the rematch, if I was there, they didn't want to be involved. Great. Also, Paul Lee. Monstrosity Championship Wrestling. I was there managing the 5-Star Fright Club, which was Mad Dog Dan Sawyer and Joshua Hagan. Nemesis and I got into it for something I said offhand that I shouldn't have said about him. I hate the guy, but I shouldn't have called him what I did. And he wanted to fight, and I told him, I said, okay, then we'll fight. But I'm not going to sit here and discuss this anymore with you. I'll give you the first punch because you deserve that much for what I said about you. I said, but when you do, I'm going to beat your face in. And then I'm going to rob you, and I'm going to take all your weed, and I'm probably going to smoke it, Nemesis. So Simon Sermons was like, that's illegal. I said, you know what, Simon, it is. And then after that, I'm going to rob him. And he said, you can't make threats like that. And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm giving him the first punch. This is all a retaliation. I figured, we were on like a same level fight. Whatever that law is they have in Las Vegas, a few places, if people are fighting at the same, if somebody dies, because I was going to kill Nemesis. When I go inside, Paul Lee's standing there. Paul Lee decides he's going to take his shirt off to bow up to me. He still had the scar up under his eye where I beat his brains in. And he pulls hair when he fights.
Did he show you his fake pecs?
No, what he did is he took them off, and I saw his surgically enhanced pecs.
Yes.
Because, you can only do so much steroids, allegedly, before you max out. And allegedly, Paul Lee had reached that max, so he decided to get muscle pec surgery.
Wait. So basically you're saying Paul Lee got a boob job.
Paul Lee had a boob job, and he's a piece of trash. So Paul Lee goes. He takes his shirt off. He's there with one of his sons, and I'm not going to say anything about his son because I don't want to get kids involved. But he was banging his head on the wall like an autistic child. So Paul Lee takes his shirt off and then decides that he is going to start getting sick. By the end of Monstrosity Championship Wrestling, Paul Lee obviously has the flu. He's over there with a towel around his neck looking like JBL, sweating his ass off, getting sick. And I'm like, that's what happens when you try to be a badass. I'm not a badass. But you know what? The people who I do consider a badass know not to mess with me. So there you go. I respect a lot of people in this business. I don't like a lot of people. But just because I don't like you doesn't mean I don't respect you. And there are several people. Dylan Cook's one of them. I love Dylan Cook. Dylan Cook knows if he messes up in a match, he doesn't have to worry about Dan Sawyer or Joshua O'Hagan coming to him. I go to Dylan. I'm like, what in the hell are you doing? Why would you throw a punch as a babyface? Why is it that Bull Stresser has more charisma than you do? That's unreal. Dylan Cook's promos are like it's like watching Little Shop of Horrors backwards taking LSD. I don't want to be a dentist. Steve Martin, you can keep that. But some people get that joke, some don't. That's an age thing.
I get it.
I know you do because you're old as hell.
Thank you.
But I go to Dylan and I tell Dylan exactly what's wrong. Tommy Pinarelli I used to rip Tommy Pinarelli apart. Francisco is good about telling someone when they messed up, except his girlfriend Stormy, because she's terrible and she's disrespectful. So he should have thrown her out of the entire area before the show.
And if I see her do that again, I'll drag her
yeah.
ass.
Francisco plays a great heel. Francisco is a great guy. Francisco is a locker room veteran. He is a ring general. No matter what,
hell of a man.
Whatever you pay Francisco, it isn't enough. Because Francisco will tell you suck, and that was one of the things that was missing from the GCW locker room. As a wrestling manager, a lot of the guys were like, "You're just a wrestling manager." Yeah, but I trained for 6 months before they ever let me do. I had to do ring announcing. I had to clean up. I had to help put the ring up and down everywhere I went. I had to work for free. For 6 months, I did this before they would ever let me be a manager. Because as Johnny Slaughter and Damon Christopher and Brian Alexander and Stupid Decline all at once, without even missing a beat, all of them said, to be a great manager, you have to be an okay wrestler. That is why I can go out and not just do a battle royal, as some quote-unquote managers do. I can go out and have a tag team match. I can go out and have a singles match. You know why? Because I'm a manager, and I work as a manager. I don't go out there and be like, so I'm gonna pick you up, man, and I'm gonna give you this side leg lock. Now when you trip down, what?
You sound like Pandora.
I sound like Pandora.
Yeah.
Oh.
You adopted her accent for a minute.
Oh well, I see these guys go out there and these girls that are quote unquote managers, and when they actually have a singles match, they go out there and they try to give like side headlocks where you can see space in them. If I'm putting a side headlock on you, I'm gonna put a side headlock on you. But why do that as a manager? Punches and kicks from somebody 6'3", 205 pounds, that means a lot, and I make sure they count. But it's all about respect once again. And if you don't, first of all, we've talked about this several times. I'm on a roll now, so back up, son. Give me room. That's my Vanilla Ice.
There goes the top of the hour.
You can see a lot about someone, how they go to the ring. First and foremost, anybody that doesn't wipe their feet before they get in the ring, I have no respect for. Absolutely none. I've done run-ins where I've still wiped my feet because it's a respect. I don't want those guys that I'm doing a run-in on or me falling into the crap that I've just carried to the ring. The reason why the ring is above the fans is because we're supposed to be treated like gods. Just like they did in ancient times. They treated the wrestlers like gods. Because we talked about this Wednesday night. I say that wrestling is a sport of gods and humans run. That's just how that's as a history minor and a communications major, that's how I see that. That's just my opinion. My opinions do not reflect Beyond Ringside or especially Eddie.
I don't know. You and I agree quite often.
But there's a reason why that we are supposed to hold ourselves above the fans, not look down upon them necessarily outside, because they are what keep us going. They are what pay our bills. But don't go out bumming smokes. If I see somebody out there, hey man, let me get a smoke from you. There's your tag team champion, everyone. Don't be out mingling with them unless you're a babyface. I hated going out there as a heel. There was no reason for me to be out there as a heel. But yet, here I am posing for 15, 20 pictures, signing autographs. Kids are walking to me, I hate you. Will you sign this? Man, I'll give you $100 for your mask. I'm like, well, this is one of a kind. $200. What about $1,000? Micah, will you sign this? I cannot wait for global warfare. And I say this to everybody. Who is more at fault? A person that knows someone is doing wrong and doesn't correct them, or the person that doesn't know that they're doing wrong to be corrected?
If the person doesn't ask, then it's an equal share blame.
That's bullcrap. That is bullcrap. That is bullcrap understanding, because when you say it like that, that is just like being an inhibitor to an addict.
No, wait. No.
They are addicts to professional wrestling. They want to go out and say, hey, I'm a professional wrestler. And then you got guys like Paul Lee spinning a big arrow beside his flea market that his wife owns. I think that's the spectrum of indie wrestling.
No, the reason why I say is if you're doing something and you're not sure if it's right, or even if you're sure if it's right, and you don't even think about asking, hey, did I do that right or did I do something wrong? Then you're an idiot.
There's a lot of people that are scared to death to come to me to talk to me. And you guys know that.
Can I just say this?
Yes.
Dylan Cook is not one of those people.
Oh, hell no.
I have personally witnessed him. If you haven't gone to him about a match, he will come to you and say, tell me what you think. And you know what? I respect the hell out of that kid for that.
And I respect Corey. I consider Corey Hollis family. Corey Hollis was on the road every Thursday, every Friday, every Saturday, and one Sunday a month for 3 years with Bishop and myself. Corey's like family. Now Billy would be over there, licking his nuts, but I don't do that. Corey is an amazing individual. I told Corey a long time ago, and Corey hit me up, about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I told him, you don't have to worry about Dylan. Dylan's in-ring ability is awesome. You look at Dylan will put some of those guys in holes where they think they're being shot on.
Yes.
And it's just Dylan getting lost and grabbing something that he knows. How old is Dylan? Dylan's like 19, 20? 20, baby?
20, I think.
Okay. That kid's young. He has all the potential in the world. You look at somebody like Leon. Leon has gotten so much better in the ring. That's all you can ask for. When you go stagnant, that's when you need to think about a change. Not necessarily in your profession, but when you have been successful and then start to go stagnant, you might want to switch it up a little bit. That's what was so great about Sting. Sting saw it coming. He knew that the blonde hair and the bright colors were changing, and he immediately, thanks to Scott Hall, as we've all heard, went to the Crow gimmick. He saw it coming. You can't always be that. You guys know. MaBo, you saw me when I was walking around in polo shirts and dress pants and a cane. And then I started bringing in the mask. And you can look on YouTube. Thank God for YouTube, because you can go on there. Now, screw Google, but thank God for YouTube, because you can go on and see the transition and the progression of the Wicked Nemesis today. When it comes to progression like Leon, he's gotten so much better in the ring, and that's all you can ask for. Is he a great wrestler? Absolutely not. Is he a good wrestler? No. Is he an okay wrestler? Yes. Is he getting better? Yes. And that's all you can ask for. Now, you look at somebody, now, we talk about global warfare. We have the cards stacked against us. We have AJ Steele, arguably the greatest wrestler in the Southeast today. Definitely one of the most charismatic and one of the strongest. We have Spiral, the Shawn Michaels of GCW, one of the most underrated guys, a guy that can hit a kick, a flip, an arm bar, an arm wrench, probably steal you, probably write a rap album about you, all in the ring within the span of 30 seconds. Then you have the Sevenfold Saints. I cannot say enough about the Sevenfold Saints. You guys know this. You guys have seen enough of the Sevenfold Saints to know, and people have heard enough about the Sevenfold Saints, so we're done with that. Leon and Dylan. Those two, I've said it once, I've said it, Leon is the X factor, because when you go against Dan and you go against Josh, who seems like I have been in a feud with for the last 4 years that I've been at GCW. You look at the circle of disrespect. The circle of disrespect. Those guys go up and down the coast and everywhere together. And that includes Mike Cruz. And then you look at Micah Taylor. Micah Taylor, the guy, probably the most feared guy in GCW. If it wasn't for Bishop, I would say he was the most feared guy in GCW history. But Micah Taylor has them ready. Leon and Dylan, are they ready? I hope so. But I guarantee you this, I won't let them fail. And then you look on the outside. They have Kaz, and they have one half of the greatest GCW tag team of all time in the Moneymakers with Teddy Tutwiler III. T3, the guy that I consider a friend. Then you see what we have. Calm Like a Bomb Pandora and myself. If they want to play dirty, we can play dirty. You look at that dirty, ratchet piece of trash Pandora. Respect the hell out of her. but she's still nasty. I mean, really look at her. I mean, she probably tastes like armadillo.
Don't talk about her like that. I love her.
You love her?
I love her.
Now, I hate the New York Rangers, so we'll give her crap about that, about them losing. But right there, that is the admission alone. I don't even know about any of the other matches. I know that Ace Haven's going to be there. Amy Haven's going to be there. Probably Tommy Gage is going to be there.
It's funny you should say that, Wick. Scrolling like a madman real quick.
Oh, God.
No, because I had to go back on my tablet and pull everything up. As it
I
stands,
gave you long enough. I felt like Rand Paul there, just like filibustering.
Yes, I know.
Because I didn't know the lineup, and I was like, how can I get this back to Eddie about him mentioning any of the other matches that I know nothing about?
Well, I was about to give you. I was
to our match that I know of.
I was in the, but I didn't know if you were done. That's why
I was trying to sell it to MaBo. We want MaBo there. If we can get MaBo there, it's going to be an amazing event.
Sit by me, MaBo.
I'd like to see MaBo and Tunzi both there.
Tunzi's getting his tonsils taken out. Tunzi, we wish you the best.
Yeah. Tunzi won't be there. He'll be recuperating.
Thoughts and prayers for sure.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers definitely.
At this point, unless something changes, and this is the first time that this is being brought up in any forum, so you're getting an exclusive here on Beyond Ringside Live. And before I do, I will give you another exclusive. Back to Basics is on hold this Tuesday night because I am setting up to put in play for one night only, for now, a special edition of Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio, 8 p.m. Central Time. Everything's being put in motion, and I'm going to have everything in place ready to go by 8 p.m. Central Time Tuesday night. So we're going to have full in-depth analysis on the card that's coming up. We're going to have full in-depth analysis. Going to have a number of people who are going to be involved on the show as well.
I'm calling in. Look. You haven't invited me, but I'm coming in.
Well,
I can believe that for the hot tag.
There you go. Now, from this point, Tommy Gage will be taking on Ace Haven. Should be a good match.
Yes, they're going to beat the crap out of each other.
He's going to try to kiss Amy again. I just know it, and I'm going to throw up in my mouth.
Did you guys cover that in the commentary? That because I saw it. He tried to kiss Amy. You know, Ace don't play that. Nobody touches his zebra.
He had his tongue stuck out like a lizard.
Okay, let me get through this real quick. We got a little bit more before we go at the bottom of the hour. Night Prowler will be taking on Scotty Blaze. Antonio Garza taking on Shane Andrews. The Ladies Championship GCW Women's title will be on the line. Jessie Belle Smothers challenging Pandora. Mudbone will be taking on the Archangel Gabriel. Kid, get an easier name to say. That's all I'm going to say. Son of a bitch. And that point, and of course, what the hell just happened to my phone? My phone started to light up, and then all of a sudden my tablet went out too. But that right there is the majority of the lineup, and I'll have everything full scale set and ready to go this coming Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central for Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio. Now, what I may do, depending on exactly how things go, it may run 60, it may run 90, and I may switch over to Back to Basics immediately following that show. I'm taking everything one step at a time. I'm making no guarantees because I really don't want to miss. I don't want to miss a week on Back to Basics if I don't have to. So we may go 8 to 9 on Back to Basics, and then 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock to whatever on Back to Basics. 8 to 9 GCW Radio, 9 o'clock to whatever. Son of a bitch, I'm getting it. I'm hungry. I want food, and it ain't ready yet. Actually, it is ready. I'm just not there eating the stuff yet. You missed the steaks last night. Oh, my God. They were good.
Fresh, Eddie.
Australian grass-fed free-range beef.
We ate sushi, so.
Oh, nice.
We have eaten so much sushi the last 2 weeks. As everybody knows, last Wednesday night on the To Be Determined show, oh, my God. Brian bought so much sushi. Holy crap. We ate eel, octopus, soft shell crab, and I believe that's him calling in right now. He's been wanting to come over and hang out all day.
Okay. The couple of things I want to run down real quick before we start heading for last calls. Now, as it pertains with the $9.99 per view last week, And people are still talking a week later about the Shield tease and the triple power bomb. If they were to genuinely put something like that together right now to bring back the Shield, whether it be working for the Authority or whatever, how well do you think that would fly considering everything that has happened recently on the main roster, MaBo?
It would probably fly like for a week. Like Monday, maybe on to SmackDown, but I think after a week, everybody will be like, "Oh, hey, it's just the stuff we had earlier." Well, but it also depends on who they attack, who they align themselves with, yada yada yada. But I mean, like right now, there's honestly really no real redeeming qualities anybody's going to see in Seth Rollins. So, but yeah, I don't think it'd last more than a week, and then it'll be back to, oh, hey, look, it's the Shield. It's it's because it's been less than a year. So.
Right. That's true. Yeah, it has been less than a year. Wick, your thoughts? How well do you think it'd fly and for how long?
I walked out of the room to answer the phone. I missed the question. I apologize.
With what happened last week at a Payback and the Shield tease with the triple power bomb, how well do you think that a Shield reunion, heel face, Authority, whatever, would fly in this timeline with everything going on the main roster?
It would definitely be a regression. I think they have everybody lined up exactly where they need them. Dean Ambrose working his ass off. I think he needs to work smarter, not harder. And Roman Reigns just needs a manager and turn to heel, and then would have it. Dean Ambrose is an amazing babyface for what he does. He reminds me so much of Terry Funk. It's unbelievable. So I think that was just something that happened. That they were like, look, that sounds like something they called. They were like, we're going to do this.
Okay.
Right? Sorry.
No, it's cool. Also, considering what happened about 3 weeks ago, I think it was 3 or 4, depending, on Lucha Underground, where they had Angelico do that beautiful flight off of the 12-foot high platform down to the ring area or into the middle of the ring. And they just recreated that this past Wednesday night on Lucha Underground in the Trios Championship match. Do you think, honestly, for a move that spectacular and that beautifully executed, it was too soon, or they shouldn't have done it to begin with the second time around? Mark?
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see this week?
You said Lucha Underground, right?
Yes.
Dude, how many do we have to have the Lucha Underground talk again?
Okay. I thought you'd found it on YouTube. That's why I'd said something.
Oh, no. Only thing I watch on YouTube is nothing, actually.
There you go. Yeah, actually, El Rey Network does have a channel on YouTube, and they've actually been posting some of the Lucha Underground material up there, complete episodes. So definitely, if you get a chance to see. And the reason why I ask, and I'm pretty sure, Wick, you and Angie didn't see this, right?
Oh no, sir.
Okay.
We don't get it out here at Bohemian Grove, out in the middle of nowhere.
There you go. I put the link to that match with Angelico doing that flight in the production chat a few weeks ago, and I don't know if y'all ever took a look at it or not. But I'm
sure I saw it, but we talk a lot about stuff in the production chat, and it goes by rather quickly.
Yeah, you blink, you miss something. But from
that, it's me spamming you guys.
Now I just read the timeline to see what all you're putting up there lately. It's like, really? Where is he finding all this stuff?
Look, I was on a roll lately, so I apologize to anybody that follows me on Facebook. I've picked up a lot of West Coast wrestlers as friends, and I'm sure they're like, who the hell is this? Angie, you were the retard. I want to tell my Paulie retard.
Now, I'm also going to go ahead and throw this one out there before we head for last call, and this will be it for me. Considering the fact that they have brought Rowan and Harper back together as a team, 1, complete lack of confidence in them as singles. 2, do you see them yanking possibly Los Matadores out of the Elimination Chamber tag match and putting them in, or just leaving it the way it is? MaBo.
We still got, a week?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that Rowan and Harper could jump somebody, and that be the person that, taking out Los. Well, I don't know. It's going to be kind of a tough call, but they're just really reestablishing them as a tag team. I don't think it was they didn't have faith in Luke Harper, because you saw, I mean, they put the strap on Luke Harper, they put the IC title on him. They, he had all these, sometimes, if not main event, top of the card matches with some of the great names, and it's the fact that, Luke Harper is, in my personal opinion, I think he's phenomenal.
Yep.
I think he is greatly underutilized in some aspects. With Eric Rowan, I think it was a huge waste of a face turn. They didn't know what to do with him. I mean, what do you do with a guy who was, wearing a sheep mask and being scary and had a big scary beard? I mean, the only other option they could have done was turn him into a Viking. But they tried to turn him into some kind of man-child, boy genius, I don't like bullies. That kind of thing, and it didn't fly. It didn't work.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what happened with the sales of the sheep masks, but I can almost guarantee you that they dropped because they weren't really aligned with
Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt anymore. So I don't think they didn't have confidence in Luke Harper. I think what it is was to basically save Eric Rowan, to salvage what they could. They were like, put him back with Luke Harper. They were over that. Okay. And then this might be the second chance that they'll get to get the tag titles, which, that was, to me, that was always one of the biggest mistakes, is that they never put the straps on them. I mean, honestly, they, they're the kind of guys, especially the way at the time it was going, nobody in the Wyatt family needed a title.
Right.
Because, they're just these big, swampy, smelly, creepy people. But so no, I don't think it was a lack of faith in Harper. I think it was. I don't want to say a lack of faith. I was thinking it was going to say. I just think it's they mismanaged Rowan. They panicked and they were like, "Let's stick him back with Luke Harper."
Wick, your thoughts?
He's exactly right. It was a waste of a babyface turn, and never waste a heel turn as well. But
thank you.
I think that they decided that they jumped the ship, and I don't know what the buildup was to. Obviously they're heel now. You guys are talking about them jumping people, but I think that Rowan would make a great member of the Viking War Party. Those guys are awesome.
They really are.
Yes, they are. But I'm glad they're back together. They make a lot of money and do very well together as a tag team, and they're very comfortable in that. There's one thing to go out of your comfort zone. Another thing is to be like, well, Bray Wyatt has totally eclipsed you guys. Goodbye. You go in this locker room. You go in this locker room. They gel well together, and especially you don't see tag teams that big that can work like those guys can. They actually work and don't just wrestle. Big Show's still the best of all time.
I'm really...
Sorry, Andre.
It's funny because the reason why I brought this up the way that I did, and I said that was it for me, but I'm not. I looked at, and I was watching the way everything went on the tag team chamber match or the way that they brought in the teams. And the tag team elimination chamber match, Los Matadores, Lucha Dragons, Ascension, Primetime Players, New Day, Cesaro, and Kid. And honestly, I kid you not, the first thing popped in my head was a phrase that we have heard about 100 million times. Which of these doesn't go with the others? Because Cesaro and Kid have come together to form a good team. New Day, like the gimmick or not, they have come together as a good team. Lucha Dragons tore it up in NXT. Ascension tore it up in NXT. Horribly misused on the main roster. Primetime Players, underused to the max. And then Los Matadores just remind me of the rock and wrestling style comic book characters. They really do. I would much rather be Primo and Epico. Honestly. That team, the Matador and Los Matadores, just does not fit with everything else there. Even with the factor of the Lucha Underground wearing the mask and the Ascension wearing the screw paint. I'll pass this around one more time. Agree with this or disagree? Your call. Wick.
Well, go ahead. Angie was like, I disagree.
I disagree.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of Los Matadores.
You just like the little bowl.
I love those guys.
You like them because they only hit high spot moves when it means something.
Yes.
I think.
Their psychology is so on point.
Yep.
And
that's what happens when you're third generation wrestlers.
It is. And they're such great workers that their physical matches their psychological, and it works so well. Yeah, and they make everyone else look so good.
I'll agree to that. Though, the gimmick sucks.
The business is in their DNA.
I agree.
The business is in their DNA.
I'll agree with the physical. I'll agree with that 100%. The gimmick sucks.
Well, there you go.
But I think that goes back to the history and the respect to their previous generations, and I pop for that too.
Okay, it was fine if it was Tito Santana from Tulacula, Mexico.
No, Eddie, but I don't know. I just feel like I respect that kind of thing.
Okay. MaBo, your thoughts?
All right.
Where are you at, MaBo?
I'm here. It's a little crackly on my end. I couldn't hear you.
It's okay. It's Wick and Angie's connection. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I just couldn't hear everybody. No, I don't think they should be pulled out. I think that they were stuck with. Okay, don't get me wrong. I like the Los Matadores gimmick, and I thought they should have brought El Matador back just for one time, just for poops and giggles. I would have loved to have seen Tito Santana come back out in the same outfit like he did back in the day.
That would be cool.
I just thought it would have been great. But, I got no problem with it. Obviously, they couldn't get over as Primo and Epico. It just wasn't working. They had to repackage them. I think they're I don't really... there's times where I like El Torito, and then there's times where I don't. And from what I've heard, they're actually going to be separating El Torito from them. So I don't know what they're going to do with them, but they definitely had, yes, I know they were more comical, but when it was they always had good matches, whether it was Los Matadores and 3MB, or when there was Slater and Gator, and they're just yes, they were a little stupid and comical and more for the kids, but it's still it almost you said it kind of reminds you of the takes you to back to the rock and wrestling days. Well, that's what I grew up on. So that's kind of like a little wink and a nod for me, a little flashback to the bright color, stereotypical characters that they would do. But I don't think they should be taken out. I think that maybe because they kind of packaged them more for the kids and they kind of failed at that. I don't think they were really ever given chances. I think, regardless of what gimmick they're running with, I think they could given a chance they could do extremely well. But I like the Los Matadores thing. I think it just kind of makes me smile when I see it. I don't should they be pulled? Do they not fit in? Well, if you really want to look at it, as much as they've gelled together and are a very good team, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro were just smushed together.
Right.
They were never established as a tag team. New Day was just smushed together. But Lucha Dragons, the Ascension, Los Matadores, they were known as tag teams. So, if you want to play the who doesn't fit game, you could say Kidd and Cesaro. But
I see your point.
I think everything's great the way it is. I honestly, though, I would pull. If you're going to pull anybody, I would pull the Ascension.
Agreed.
Because they're just they're not. It's just not working like it did in NXT. So why should they be? And they've lost. They're supposed to be this badass monster team. The second coming of the Road Warriors, or the fifth coming of Powers of Pain, or whatever they're trying to be this week.
And they messed up real good.
But, why not pull them if you put in Harper and Rowan?
I do agree with that concept about, I'm just look. I'm going to bring back the phrase WWE screwed the pooch when it came to the main roster debut of the Ascension.
No, they did. I don't give a crap what anybody says. They were the ones that went out there and said those words. And never in my life have I seen an entire wrestling world turn their heads like they were on the freaking Exorcist. Holy crap. I think most of us spewed. I know I spewed sweet pea soup.
And green pea soup, yeah.
And
yes, they're legit reactions. JBL, I'm sure, was like...
Oh, he wanted to close
my God.
what out of him.
Yeah. Man, I wish I would have been there for that confrontation afterwards.
And then Booker T.
Somebody's going to be getting their bags crapped in.
Booker T had some reactions, He was the same way.
Yeah, because they are two of the greatest tag teams of our generation. The APA, one of the most dominant ever.
Yes.
And they were smushed together. And then you have...
Harlem Heat.
Brothers. Harlem Heat.
Yes.
Like brothers. Go out, and they were awesome together. People that missed their run in WCW, holy crap, you missed out.
You did.
You also missed out on Booker T dropping the N-bomb on Hogan.
Yeah.
No kidding. I still have that on video.
That's amazing. I love that.
It's been all over YouTube, by the way.
That's better than Shockmaster. I'm sorry.
No,
Shockmaster was still priceless.
No, Patrice O'Neal makes Shockmaster funny. His commentary to Shockmaster, because Patrice O'Neal get it. Oh, and by the way, I know we're running a little bit late. Wale was on Highly Questionable this past week, or maybe the week before that. I don't know. I was watching old DVRs, but he was talking about WWE, and he came out with the belt, and he totally put over the WWE and totally put over them as, he said, wrestlers, not superstars. I was like, if you get a chance to look at that, watch the Wale interview on Highly Questionable with Dan Le Batard, Bomani Jones, and of course Poppy on ESPN, 3:30 Central Standard Time. Yes. Check that out, and then watch, if it's still on YouTube, there's some outtakes that they do like right after. Man, he totally put over the WWE. I know he had something happen at a WWE event where he got into it, and but you have got to see his interview, because I was like,
and how often do you see
I'm not going to pirate this guy's stuff. I'm actually buy it. I know.
So that's
yes,
great.
And he also gave shout outs to Pastor Troy walking around with the WCW belt. He's like, Pastor Troy was the first one to do that.
Oh, wow.
And I've met Pastor Troy on 2 different occasions. Really nice guy, but his Goldberg song was awesome.
Of course, I'll sit back and say this: Clay Matthews carries that son of a gun like nobody's business, and then they had to turn around and try to give this crap to Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, no, still don't like it.
I know Clay Matthews carries it around. Aaron Rodgers has one now?
No, that's how they came up with the discount double check, because the way Clay Matthews does the belt around the waist bit, and they turned around and did that as the discount double check move.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Blatant highway robbery. Yeah, Vince, trademark that while you're at it. You want to trademark hand gestures, you cretin. Let's do it real quick. MaBo, last call.
Last call. Nothing really last call, but I do just a couple things, like we said off air. I talked off air a little bit. 3 huge independent wrestling events happened this weekend. One of them was the JT Lightning Invitational Tournament put on by AIW. And if I'm not mistaken, if I read correctly, Raymond Rowe walked away with the distinct honor of winning that. They also threw in Girls Night Out, like 5 or 6 was in there. And of course, they had Samoa Joe versus Johnny Gargano. And I heard that was actually an excellent match. And what was funny was a little brief exchange that CM Punk had with somebody in the front office of AIW. They posted how much he said something about how he would, if CM Punk would come wrestle Joe one last time in AIW, that he would drop the Johnny Gargano match. And, just joking around, Punk was like, well, how much are we talking here? So, but, that was out of AIW. Of course, Chikara both had Back to Skull Saturday night at the new Wrestle Factory in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And then at the Easton Funplex, they just wrapped up Anniversario. If you want to know the results, go to Chikara. The best place to, if you don't see them on Facebook or anything, go to ChikaraPro.com. And go down to Chikara 101, sign up for the pro board there, and you can look at all the results. You can talk to fellow Chikara fans. And then Pro Wrestling Guerrilla had DDT4. It was their tag tournament, and where the belts are on the line, or at least this year, I'm not sure about last year, I can't remember, but this year the belts were defended throughout the tournament. I wonder where they got that idea from. And Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee won the tournament and are your new Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Tag Team champions. So, if there should never be an excuse about not being able to find independent wrestling going on the weekends.
Amen.
It's anywhere and everywhere. You just need to know where to look. And those are three of the companies that I follow closely, especially two of them. And I'm glad that they all had great shows and great attendance for those shows. So congratulations to the offices of Absolute Intense Wrestling, Chikara, and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and definitely congratulations and good way to go to everybody who took part in the respective cards.
Want to throw shameless plugs while you're at it?
No, I'm good because you don't like it when I throw those plugs for those people.
We'll talk off air because I completely got lost.
I was just going to say, boys and girls, go to HarrietSugarCookie.com.
Okay, stop.
But just honestly, another cheap plug. Like I said, go to ChikaraPro.com, sign up for Chikara 101. That's what I'm pushing that because it's a great place. I have issues with pro boards, message boards, some bad issues from years past, but talk to like-minded Chikara people. There you go.
Wick, real quick, last call.
At Wicked Nemesis on Twitter. Wednesday night, the YouTube Determined Show live, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to talk about global warfare as well. I know you heard a lot about it tonight. You'll hear a lot about it on GCW Radio Tuesday night, which I'm calling in whether Eddie likes it or not. I'm going to keep bugging Eddie. I'm calling in. Call in. And then we're going to talk in depth about these matches as only I can because I pay attention to everybody on the card. Just like I told one of the trash baggers on Trash Bag Wrestling, I pay attention to everything that goes on in the state of Alabama, good or bad. Mostly bad. There's good out there. And thank God GCW is one of them. This guy also claimed that his little promotion, that he's 105 pounds and he's their heavyweight champion, that they were the number one promotion in Alabama. I told him they weren't even in the top 50 because the number one promotion in the state of Alabama, of course, GCW. Number 2 is Pro South. Number 3, even though I hate Mike Jackson and I hate Big Clyde, is APW. So, and there's only one Grand Design. He's Clyde Braddock, and he is awesome.
That's right.
Also, you can contact us through YouTube, Wicked Nemesis Enoch. You can also check us out on Facebook, The Wicked Nemesis, The Merchants of Death, The Unlucky Charms, The Sevenfold Saints, and The To Be Determined Show all have Facebook fan pages. Give us a like and share, if you will. If not, give us a thumbs down. Just give us a look. That's all we ask for. Just give peace a chance. Even though we're more about war, but that is to be seen. That's right. You hear over here probably. So for
Angie, real quick,
she just purred at me.
Uh-oh. I think we need to wrap this show up.
Yeah, we're about to.
Angie_Nemesis on Twitter.
And real quick, while I've got it on the brain, I remember you telling me a little while ago somebody just came home from the hospital. Go ahead and put that out there, please.
Yes, much love and healing vibes to my sister, Jennifer Smith. She just came home from the hospital. She's been very sick. I'd also like to throw it out there. The one and only Mr. Bobby the Brain Heenan has been very, very ill. So much love and healing vibes to him as well. But, he's still out there signing autographs, posing for pictures. Palooza. What an amazing individual. So much love to Mr. Heenan.
And much love to MaBo. MaBo, we talked to Jennifer today. She said thank you. We were talking about the Alf.
She cried when we told her about the little Alf doll. So
I've got to have it somewhere. I know I've got it, so I'm gonna do everything I can to find it for her.
Did you get it from Burger King with a Hawaii suit and a little surfboard?
So great.
I used to have all those.
No, I had the rock and roll one with the.
Yes.
He didn't have the shirt anymore, but he still has the bandana. And then I had the chef.
That is awesome. There were only 4 of them.
Yes. So thank you.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully I can find them and have them for you at Global Warfare.
Yay! Awesome. I hope so. And if not, I still hope to see you there.
I hope to be there.
Good.
Let me run this at light speed. 18 minutes from right now on our live side, we're actually Wrestle Rage Radio with Mark Rage and Stan will be taking over the channel this coming Tuesday night, 8 p.m. And by the way, that is going to be the 26th of May that I'm referring to. May 26th, 8 p.m. Central. GCW Radio makes a one-night run. Wednesday night, the 27th, the To Be Determined show, 9 p.m. Central Time. And on Thursday, the 28th, the show with Ted Guinness kicks off 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. For our friends who are wrestling fans in the state of Alabama, definitely check it out, gcwpro.com. Global Championship Wrestling makes the return to the Pell City Civic Center, Pell City, Alabama. Hashtag GCW Global Warfare this Saturday night, May 30th, 7:30 p.m. bell time. Tickets only $10 each. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com. Most everything is caught up. I still got a couple of things that I'm trying to get caught back up on from this vantage point. Check out the media page. Also, remember, don't forget, the Beyond Ringside Radio app is available for Amazon, Android, and BlackBerry. I'm going to renew everything as far as I'm renewing everything next month. So I'm signing another one-year deal. So, hey, we're going to do this. Let's have some fun. Oh, by the way, before I go any further, I've been getting messages from hell, and I told everybody I'd address it here. Last-minute circumstances prohibited last night at Jake's. There is no fault, there is no blame, there is no ill. So I'm actually going to be back with Jake's on Saturday, June 6th. 7 o'clock start time. We're already booking everything in place for a karaoke contest. $125 first prize to the winner. Also, for everybody who came out to play this past Friday night at Buffalo Wild Wings, thank you. I know it's a holiday weekend and I know it's crazy. As far as singers go, we had quite a few good ones, and like I said, we had quite a few people who knew how to have fun and some who knew how to sing. That's the way I like to say it. We'll be back at B-Dubs this coming Friday night, May 29th, and looking forward to that. Folks, we're going to go ahead and call it here on this side of the board. Wrestle Rage starts out in 15 minutes. Once again, BeyondRingside.com, the home for all things. And for me personally, Fast Eddie Layne, LAYNE.com. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground, unless you're tied to a ceiling fan. And if you can figure that one out, you're one up on me, because that sucker keeps breaking every time I try it. For Mark MaBo Bowman. For the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Well, if he were here, I'm sure he would tell you to don't be a maybe. Be a definite. Forever forward. Sevenfold Saints.
For Angie Travis.
And P.S. for Wicked Nemesis. And as always, leave your week to be determined.
You got one you want to throw out for you?
Good night.
This is the Magic... Until next time, this is the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne saying adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abasinia, au revoir. And until we meet again, you're damn right, aloha means bye-bye. Join us right here next time as we all go Beyond Ringside. Bye for now.